Hi, everybody, and welcome to today's office hour session. This is going to be the last one of kind of our AI fears messaging. So I'm glad to have everybody today, and we're going to walk through kind of the tech overwhelm and AI overwhelm and how I think you can really run your business on just three tools. And honestly, you can keep the cost right around $100 a month and probably eliminate a lot of other things that you're already using. So my goal is always to keep your tech stack as light as possible. For subscription fees, B, so you don't have to log into a ton of different things, but also because that's how things break or you miss them or leads fall through the cracks. The less tools we're using, the more they work together, the more likely we are to keep everything, consistent and on brand and without kind of getting lost in the shuffle. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So I completely understand that there are like 12,000 AI tools out there right now, right? And we are getting more and more every day. They're changing every day. And it's hard to keep up with what's working, what's not working, what you need, what you don't. Even for me, I work in this all day, every day. I'm reading about all of the latest AI tools all the time, but I have to kind of keep like horse blinders on sometimes because there are so many out there that it's hard to figure out what's actually important and what you need and what you don't need. So I'm going to try to cut through some of that noise, some of that fluff today and give you my core three that I would want every business owner to have. And, then after you get comfortable with those, after you've improved your workflows, if you want to start stacking on some other tools, you can, but these are the three that are going to get you to 95% of the business operations that you need to be visible in 2025. So again, the reality check on the AI overwhelm is that you don't need every tool out there. You don't need the complexity of too many tools. And for a lot of people, it's overwhelming and they get to a point where they feel like, oh, I don't want to try any of these tools because I'm already overwhelmed just trying to figure out which ones I need, or you're seeing all the subscription costs kind of add up. That's what we're going to talk about today, is just how to figure out exactly what you need and eliminate everything else. So I've boiled this down into three simple AI business stack tools. These are the three that I think every business needs. The first is an AI assistant, and we'll talk about those options here in a minute, but that is for your strategy, your content creation, and also for, brand management. This is for all of your kind of like written content, brainstorming, things like that. Then you need an AI content creation tool for your visuals, your social media, your lead magnets, your presentation decks, things like this. And then the third one is an AI automation platform. That's your CRM, your pipelines, your email nurture sequences. You need a platform where all of your leads, all of your information is coming in, and you can then sort, filter, let the AI handle some of that outbound outreach. And so you've got clean visibility over everything as well. And so again, with the three that I'm going to recommend to you today, you can get all three of these for about $100 a month, maybe even a little less, depending on the AI automation platform that you choose. So this is very cost effective for the amount of benefits you're going to get for you and your business. All right. So tool number one is an AI assistant. There are tons out there. There's, ChatGPT, there's Claude, there's Gemini, there's all sorts of options. I would recommend ChatGPT or Claude, and I'll talk a minute about which one I would recommend over the other. But those two, I think, are kind of the best overall tools available right now. So think of this AI as your sort of always available VA that doesn't take any breaks. They don't get sick. Their brain doesn't wear out. This is your core AI tool, essentially. And if you've listened to me before, if you've been around for a while, you know that I talk a lot on the importance of training your AI tools. I never want you just using ChatGPT straight out of the box on the free version and expecting great results. You're not going to get it that way. If you take the time to train your AI tools, you are going to get significantly better results. And I will show you a live demo of that here in just a minute. So, with the training, you've got two options if we're just talking about ChatGPT and Claude. ChatGPT has what we call custom GPTs. This is what I use for my clients, and in my opinion, it is the best one out there. You can train any type of agent or assistant that you want. I start with an AI brand manager for every client, and that is the full knowledge base, source of knowledge, everything about their business, their offers, their pricing strategy, their positioning. Everything lives in that AI brand manager. And that is built on a custom GPT. In Claude, those are called projects, and it's relatively trained the same way. It can store all of the knowledge bases and information in the same way. But from my testing, and I have tested and tested and tested, I pretty much always get better results with ChatGPT. Claude, a lot of people like it because it has a little bit more of like a storytelling creative feel to it. And so certainly if that's your brand, if that's really important to you, is that kind of creative narrative, and Claude might be the better choice for you. But in terms of training them, in my opinion, you get better results out of ChatGPT over Claude. And I'm going to show you that. I'm going to switch screens and kind of show you that live right now. This is ChatGPT. And over here are all of my custom GPTs. Again, I have one for every client. I've got one for myself, but this is my personal brand manager. This is the trained custom GPT, and I'll take you into the back side of it and show you, I have all of these system instructions. I've personally written these. I've kind of honed these over, all of these that I've built. But it's got my custom instructions in here. It's got my knowledge base. It's got my products and services. It's got case studies. It's got customer pain point information. It's got everything that I would kind of like give to a new assistant in my business and say, hey, read all of this, learn kind of what we do. All of that is in this knowledge base, right? So that's how you train it. So this is ChatGPT, and this is what would happen if I went into my personal brand manager, my trained assistant, and I said, write 10 social prompts for November. And so what it's going to spit back is, here are 10 social media prompts designed for HerAIgency. It mentions my core offers, the AI brand managers, BrandWave, that's our automation platform. And if I scroll through these, I won't read them all out loud to you, but if I scroll through these are really on brand. And honestly, I would do some tweaking here. I would add visuals. I might change the calls to action, but these are all really usable. And all I did was say, write 10 social media prompts. Now, that's not the way I would generally encourage you to prompt it. But for today, for the sake of simplicity, that's all I've done, right? And this is the output that I'm going to get. Now, on the other side of the coin, right? Let's say I was wanting to try just ChatGPT that I'm not logged into, that's free, right? So no paid subscription, no trained AI, right? And so let's say I'm going to stay logged out. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say, write in social media prompt for me for November. Well, what do we think is going to happen, right? It's going to, November is all about gratitude, right? These are super generic. Before the holiday rush hits, here's a little behind the scenes sneak peek. These are very generic. This is what you'd pull from like a 30 days of done for you social media content. There's nothing about my business. There's nothing relevant to my offers, my brand tone, nothing here. So when I tell you that training your AI is important, this is my core example right here. I've used the exact same prompts here as I did on my logged in version, and obviously dramatically different output. On the flip side of the coin, I want to take you over to Claude. So on Claude, same thing. I have a project here that I've trained. It looks very similar to the back end of ChatGPT that I just showed you, right? So I've got all of my training documents in here. It shows you over here, here's my instructions. These are pretty consistent with what I've got in ChatGPT, and it's got all of those same files, right? Like all of the knowledge base, everything that I think it needs to know is in here. But I went in earlier and I did the exact same prompts, right? So write 10 social media prompts for November. And so what it's come back with is a bunch of questions. Now, you may love that. You may want to work through those questions and answer, and get really, really specific results. And if so, that's fine. And again, if this is more your style, then Claude might make more sense for you. But if, training it once and it just giving you what you need is really important to you, then I tend to rely on ChatGPT and custom GPTs more so. So we're going to go back to tools, but that is, in my opinion, honestly, if you're only going to choose one AI tool, start here. You need a custom GPT or you need a Claude project for your business. You need one of those. And you can get either one of those services for about $20 a month. Very inexpensive. And I've got what it does for you, right? That can write your emails, your social posts, your blogs. It can do brainstorming and market research for you. It can help you refine your messaging. So use it every day like a human assistant almost. And then tool number 2 is Gamma. And what you're looking at right now on my screen, this is a Gamma created presentation. And for this one, I want to show you just how fast it is, because that's what I love about it. The Gamma, again, also $10 a month, right? This is not an expensive tool. It can create pitch decks or presentations, webinars like this in minutes, less than minutes, honestly. It has a site builder, so you could do sales pages or funnels through Gamma. There's a couple more limitations with that I'll discuss later. But lead magnets and ebooks, it has a documents feature, so you can put together those lead magnets, those ebooks, anything like that that you're trying to use to bring in leads can be done with Gamma. And then it does a great job of creating social media carousels or stories or just posts in general. But where I think it really shines is with creating carousels and stories. And those are obviously really beneficial for visibility right now. So I think this is where this product really, really shines. And my hot take on this is honestly, I think that Gamma can replace Canva for most business owners, unless you're doing really heavy graphic design. Is quicker, it's cheaper, and honestly, you can get really good output a lot faster than you're going to with Canva. Now, if you're trying to design something very custom, you want custom graphics, Canva's still kind of the way to go there. But for getting stuff out quick, this is a really great tool. So again, we're gonna switch over and I'm gonna demo this one for you live as well. This is Gamma, and when you log in, I'm not gonna go back because that'll just take us out of here. What you can do is you can paste in text. And then it gives you these options. Do you want a presentation? Do you want a web page? Document, social? You can pick any of these choices, right? For this particular case, like what I've put in here is maybe a lead magnet, right? So I'm going to click document. But with social in particular, you can come down here and you can make it in 1-to-1. You can make it in 4-to-5. You can make it in stories format. So you've got lots of choices on how you lay it out here. And it's very simple. Once you've done the initial layout and gotten your content perfect, it's super easy to go back and change the format. Like if you also want it in a story format or you also want it in a document, you can very easily go back and do that. Okay, so I've copy and pasted my sort of 10 nuggets of AI training wisdom. This was what we were just kind of talking about a minute ago with custom GPTs and Claude projects. So this is like, let's say this is a lead magnet. This is going to go on my website for people to download, get on my email list or something like that. You just paste it in, then you come down here and you can either turn on generate notes from an outline. And I think it does a great job at taking your kind of raw content and re-summarizing it. But if you've got a long text or document too, like let's say you've got a blog and you want to make a lead magnet, a document out of it, you could put your full blog in here. Or you can do preserve this exact text, which is what I'm going to do here because I've already edited this. It's ready to go, but you've got lots of choices here. So now I'll go to continue to prompt editor. And here you can choose your theme. You can preset your theme. I'll pick the same one right here that I'm using for this presentation. You can choose your image sources. If you've got a file in here of images you like, you can put those in there for it to pull from. You can change the image style. If you like more photorealistic, if you like more illustrative, you can pick any of those kind of manipulative choices you can make here, or you can just hit generate and see what it does. So this is where it tells me the number of cards, right? So this is how many it thinks it needs to make this into in terms of making it a document. And I'll show you what those cards look like in just a minute, but that's really all you have to do. And then you hit generate and watch the magic happen. And it's so fast. We're talking about a couple of seconds here, right? It's putting in all of my content. It's smart laying out these kind of structured, like my bullet points essentially. It's adding in some icons. All of this can be super easy to manipulate, to change. There's an option up here that will say try new. It's still generating, so it won't like change anything just yet. But you can try a new layout. But I love the way it just kind of dumps everything in and formats it for you without you having to manually manipulate a lot of things. So like, I don't love this image, so I would change this. So all I do is click it. I go to their AI tool and I say, add a human person or make the tree greener, whatever it might be. Remove the image altogether. If I'm like, I don't even like it altogether, I take it out. And this is how it does it. It's put a little bit of a timeline in here. And again, I wanted to show you the change layout. So I think this is one of my favorite features here. So this is the original, and then it's going to show me a bunch of different ways we could lay this slide out. Like this right here is a great story for Instagram or Facebook, the way that's laid out. Same right here. So it's giving me tons of different options. And again, this is set to my theme. You can change the colors. You can change the way images appear. You can change the font, all sorts of things. But this does it really fast. So we did this in document form, right? Because I said I wanted to leave magnet. Let's say now I decide, you know what, these would make great story posts. Let's change it. So I'm going to go up to here to page setup. I'm going to change the format to social. I'm going to change the stories or 2 stories and done. And now, look, I have over here this whole file of basically, and again, you might have to do some editing on the layout. Like, I don't love this layout, I would change that. But you've got a good, this is an easy story to publish. This could be an Instagram carousel. This does it so fast. So I'm going to go back to my slide deck, but this is Gamma that we've just looked at, and this is $10 a month, and I guarantee you it's absolutely worth your investment on that. All right, and then tool number 3. So an automation platform. There are a ton of choices out there. I'm not trying to push you to anyone in particular. I run a white label of GHL or Go High Level called Brandwave, and that's what I put all of my clients on. That's what I use personally. It's the first thing I would recommend to anybody, but it's not necessarily right for everybody, particularly depending on your price point. Spot is another option. It's better for like enterprise level, bigger businesses. A lot of people like Kajabi. It's probably the most comparative to Go High Level or GHL. And then there's System.io, which has a very kind of robust free plan, and even their upgraded plans are pretty inexpensive. So if you're on a budget, you're trying to keep your costs low, System.io can be a really good option for that. But this automation platform, whatever you pick, is where the magic happens, right? This is where we're taking all of that content from our AI assistant. This is where we're taking all of the content that Gamma's helped us produce, and we're actually doing something with it. We're reaching out to clients. We're automating lead generation. We're automating nurturing, getting back to clients or potential clients. You can do a bunch of things with an automation platform, and I can't possibly show you all of the things today, but I'm going to show you a couple that are really important and what I think are maybe the most important, and they're a really fun new feature I'm excited about. So AI lead qualification, right? You can set up a conversation bot that can ask questions for like lead intake filtering. I use that a lot with clients. That can be, it can filter them, it can flag them as like a hot lead, or send them to, like maybe they're not ready for your one-to-one services, but they've got the budget for like a course or program you offer. It can route them that way. These are all in one platform. This can hold your funnel, your email marketing, your SMS marketing, your social media planner, everything. And the goal here is to reduce this down to one tool, right? So that you're not having to log into MailChimp to send emails and GoDaddy to build your funnel, or a bunch of different services that all can be put into one tool is your best possible bet here. Pipeline visibility, right? We need to see who's coming in, what lead magnets are performing well, where are people dropping off, who do we need to reach out to and manually follow up with. And then the biggest one is this automated nurturing, particularly if you are running ads on any platform. That ad platform's expectation is that you are getting to that lead With it, 15 minutes is kind of the upper level of what it considers acceptable. Less than 5 minutes is ideal. And that's hard, right? Like we have lives, we have children, we need to sleep. So I'm assuming you're not working 24/7 and able to respond to a lead immediately all of the time. So that's where that automated nurturing comes into play. You can have a form on your website that as soon as someone fills it out, it's immediately sending them an email. Hey, welcome to HerAIgency. We do this, this, and this. Here's some resources that I think you might find helpful. Here's a link to join my weekly office hours. Something like that, just to get some kind of brand touch to them is really important. A, for the client visibility, but B, again, if you're running ads, the platform tracks that kind of behavior and it's expecting you to do something with those leads, and showing that you're doing something with that lead is going to improve your optimization. So it's really, really important. So this will save you hours of manual work a week, and it's going to keep leads from falling through the cracks, right? The last thing we want is for somebody to be interested in our business and reach out and us miss it or take too long to get back to them. So that's what these automation platforms are for. Again, lots of choices. I'm going to show you my white label of GHL because that's what I believe in and that's what I use. But any of these options that I've listed up here are going to work in relatively the same way. So this is the inside of Brandwave. Again, this is a white labeled GHL. I offer this to my one-to-one clients free of charge. I also license it out at the same price that GHL offers it with, but with more support and more things built in. So this is what we use within my agency. So as you can see over here, right, you've got your conversations, your calendars. This can replace Calendly or Google Calendar, anything like that that you're using. Payments, you can send documents, you can send invoices, everything accounting-wise can go through here as well. AI agents, we kind of talked about the conversation and bot and why I think that's really relevant. And then your marketing folder. This has your social planner, your emails. I'll click through some of those for you in a minute. And then your automation. So this is what I really want to talk about. This is what's important in terms of this conversation. This client that I have set up here, one of the first things that I do for every client and what is really important is this workflow that captures every lead in any way they might interact with your business. So you'll see we've got Instagram DM on here. Facebook Messenger. Anytime somebody sends an Instagram DM to this client or to any of my clients, it immediately comes into the CRM. It comes into their contacts. We tag it. It might send them through an email nurture, whatever, is appropriate for that client. But you don't have to go back to your Instagram DM and grab that name and try to put it into your CRM. I've got this workflow, so it does it all for you. This is an absolute must, in my opinion, right? There are too many. You're probably on Instagram, you're on Facebook, you've got a Google business profile, you've got an email. It's impossible to keep up with where all those leads might be coming from. So automating that is extremely key. The second thing that we can do in here is we can automate, this kind of lead nurture, for instance. So switch to a different account. But so for this one, this is a wedding venue. And so they've got a form on their website. And when somebody reaches out and asks for a wedding brochure or, their sales packet, it takes them right into this automation. So the form is submitted. We know what the form is. It adds them to the CRM. It adds a tag that they're interested in weddings. And then they get an email, right? An automatic email. The salesperson doesn't have to touch it. It's got the brochure already in it. They get an SMS that follows up. And then they go through a sequence of questions. Again, fully customizable. They get a tour invite. But she doesn't have to manually touch any of this. This just comes in through her form and out goes the information. And then it's going to show up in here on her pipeline. So, somebody submits this form, they show up in inquiry. This means she's talked to them. These are the people that have requested a tour. They've scheduled a tour and they move through this pipeline. And these can be manually moved or you can workflow those as well. But she can see at a glance everybody she's got in her pipeline and who she might need to follow up with, who's got an event coming up, anything like that. So that is one of the most powerful things that this platform can do is bring those leads in get them the information they need, get that brand touch out without you manually having to do it, and capturing that lead information and storing it so you can nurture them, put them on your newsletter, whatever might be important there. And then the other feature that I wanted to show you, so this was just rolled out to us through Go High Level, and it is called Funnel AI. I think we've all been in this place where we have a new idea, we've got a product we want to try, right? And how many times have you built a funnel, spent a lot of time on it, and then gotten distracted? Or maybe you put it out there and it didn't hit as well as you thought it was going to, right? And we used to spend, I don't know how many hours or hiring people to build these funnels. And you don't have to do that anymore. So I'm going to show you Funnel AI. This is within our BrandWave platform or within GHL. And so you come in here, and I've pre-filled out some of this for the sake of time, but it's going to ask me a couple of questions. The name of the funnel page. So for fun, I'm a dog walker today, right? My niche, what the goal of my funnel is. Maybe it's course signups, maybe it's a webinar, maybe I'm trying to build an email list. Whatever it is, you can select that. You can select your type of target audience. And then what are you offering? Are you offering a free consult? Are you offering a course? Are you offering a special deal? So again, we're just trying this out. And so let's say we're offering a discount on my dog walking services. You can go ahead and hit generate here and kind of see what it gives you, or you can keep going. If you go further into customize, it's going to ask you about language. It's going to ask you about tone, and you can build your own tone in here as well. But let's say fun and playful, it's dog. And then you can define your layout. So you can select either your color palette, or if you have, I have a brand color. These are all my brand colors built in. So let's say my dog walking is using my same purple. And let's say what I haven't played with is whether I can choose multiple colors there. It doesn't look like it. Font, obviously, I can put any of my own fonts in there, but let's just pick a generic one for right now. Image style, same thing like in Gamma. Do I want modern and clean? Do I want abstract? Do I want it to be more of like an illustration? Let's say illustration for today. I think that might be fun for the dog walking. And then layout. What kind of layout do you want? Do you want it to be like a hero with supporting sections? Do you want a one-column page? I'm going to say hero with supporting sections. I think that would be my preferred funnel type for almost everything anyway. Spacing. Do you want it compact? Are they going to be looking at it mostly on mobile, which is usually the case now? So I kind of like compact. We're going to select that. And then borders. Default, fully rounded, sharp edged. You can pick all these things, and then we hit generate. And this is going to take a minute. So I'm going to talk while it's thinking. And what it does is it's showing me all the things it's thinking through, right? Like it's planning its next move, it's working on the request, it's got the to-dos. So with this funnel builder, what I love about it is that you can easily and quickly launch a funnel. So let's say you want to test an offer and see if there's even, or a lead magnet, right? Like anybody interested in my 10 AI training tidbits, whatever I called it. You can pop this up without wasting dozens of hours and freelancer dollars and things like that to find out that like nobody wants that offer or it's not getting the interest that I thought it was. You need to set up, a capture page for an email list. This is super simple and really quick. You don't need to hire somebody to do it anymore. So these types of tools, not every single one that I showed you earlier has this kind of capability. This is probably top level capability right now, but you can get stuff like this. Lovable is another one that a lot of people like. It's not a full functioning automation platform, but it does automatically help with landing pages and things like that. So you could try Lovable. But this functionality, obviously, it takes a little couple minutes, but you can do so much with it. And then you come in here to this chat box, and I can say, change the picture, change the color, make the font bigger, remove that graph, whatever it is that I don't like. And what I really love is this attachment feature. So let's say there's a website out there that you love, and you're like, man, I wish my website looked like that. Screenshot it, get a PDF of it, upload it, and say, make it look like this style or mimic this layout, and it'll do it. So that's extremely helpful. So lots of functionality here. It's almost done with this first draft. But again, I love these for just the quick launch. Get it out there, right? Time is money. The speed at which offers and things are coming out is really speeding up. So sitting on something for a long time, wasting weeks building a funnel is no longer ideal. And this is cutting through kind of that noise and letting you go to market really fast. Even at 2 to 5 minutes for it to build this page for you versus sorting through freelancers on Upwork, hiring somebody, doing it yourself, right? This is still a significantly improved timeline and process. So we'll see what it spits out. I have not pre-tested this one in particular, so we'll see what it does. But one of the things that I love about it too is it's putting in kind of best practices. So a lot of the things that are like up here, when you look through the things it's thinking about, it's careful about like SEO, generating SEO titles. So it's doing that for you. In every one that I've tried so far, it's putting an FAQ, like a 3 to 5 question FAQ on every page. And that's extremely important right now for AI powered visibility, for those AI snippets at the top. People also ask sections, hey Siri, and getting an answer. All of those are being pulled primarily from FAQs and anything in FAQ schema. So this is really a great benefit that it's automatically putting those FAQs in for you, right? So, all right, so it finally generated. So we've got fun walks, happy dogs, right? It's meeting that kind of fun, playful that I asked for. It's generated a really cute little dog here. We've got this cute little illustrative imagery, a how it works section, popular services, some simple pricing. It puts the testimonials in there, some statistics, ready to book, and then this FAQ down here. So it has filled out a lot for me already, right? And then you just go in and I could drop all of my copy in here, right? Like I've already written the copy, maybe with my custom GPT, drop it in here. It'll update it that way. I want you to mimic this website. It'll do that. So this is a really new feature and I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to help a lot of my clients get offers out faster and I'm excited about that. So this is just something I wanted to demo today because I think it's kind of at the forefront of the AI tools right now. And I'm excited to play with it more. So that's tool number 3, right? That automation platform. Let's talk about how all of these work together now, right? So your AI assistant, your ChatGPT or your Claude project, that is to develop your strategy, create your content, refine your messaging, your written content more than anything. Build and publish. That's your creative assets. That's what I recommend Gamma for. That's your lead magnets, your documents, your social media, that kind of stuff. And then your capture and convert step. That's your automation platform, right? So that's your, whether it's Brandwave or GHL, whether it's Kajabi, whether it's HubSpot, that's where you're taking all of that content and getting it in the hands of the people that want it. And then it all automates everything, right? So I don't have to sit and think about 10 social media prompts. I can get my custom GPT to write them for me. And then I tweak, I edit, I add my own touches. But in my opinion, these 3 tools working together it's end-to-end AI for small businesses. And these platforms, again, added up, all 3 of them, you're coming in around $100, depending on which AI automation platform that you pick. You know, kind of my recap on this is, this pricing graph, right? So your GPT assistant, Claude, that's like $20 a month. Gamma is at $10 a month. And you could use Canva Pro also. And then your automation platform, I've averaged this out at about 75, but literally this goes anywhere from like 0 at the free end of System.io to, I think Kajabi is up to like 120 something, maybe more than that. I think they just raised prices, but anywhere on the spectrum, right? So depending on your budget. So you've got your assistant, you've got your content creator, and then you've got your automation platform. Everything else is optional. If you use these 3, I promise you it is going to upscale your business and your efforts by 90% at minimum, right? And you're going to find that there are businesses out there spending 3 times as much on some of these tools, and you don't need 15 tools. You need these 3 that are going to work really well for you. So that is my kind of overview on my 3 favorite, automation tools and how I would apply them within my business. And so certainly if you have questions, if you need guidance about how to get started with any of these, I'm happy to help with that. And I have a ton of resources, I think, on my YouTube or on my website around how to train your AI, things like that. So feel free to check those out also. And I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great day.